everyone. I hope traders and investors alike are green tomorrow and the whole week. Let's remain green. Let's get in here. Let's make some money. Let's use the stock market as a personal ATM machine. So this video is not going to be about so much of the SPY and what the market's doing. We're going to save that for the trade ideas list, for the day trading list, because we have the SPY charts in there. We have the oscillator charts, the dollar, we even have Bitcoin in there. So we take a look at a lot of that in that list. I do have these two charts in here we only look at once a week. This is my trend chart, and you can see long term still bearish, medium term still bearish, but the short term here is trying to turn bullish. So we are trying to set a bullish trend here. We're still below some levels, which we will talk about in the next video. So this video is just about chart ideas that have been showing relative strength and have possibly will move up. Possibly, maybe even if the market turns on us, these charts may possibly still move up. I do want to throw a reminder out there that not just the whole last week, but Friday, we've seen some extreme bearish options flow coming in. So let's keep that in mind. We'll talk more about that in the next video. But let's keep that in mind. We've seen extreme bearish options flow coming in for the SPY. So maybe, low volume moves, but algo's trading all week. The big guys are sitting in the Hamptons, places like that on vacation. And let's keep in mind, they could come back after being on vacation and, sell into the strength that the market's been having. There's not been a lot of volume in this market. They could start selling into it, taking profits. That's a very real possibility. A lot of Mondays we chop around so they can start killing the, start chopping the strikes up, the Monday strikes up. So a lot of Mondays we actually chop around. So let's be patient. Let's use discipline, and wait for proper setups to enter. So this chart we just talked about is the trend chart, possibly switching into a short-term bullish trend here. So is this a bull trap or a bear market rally? We will have to see, and we will talk more about that in tomorrow's video. So this is a breadth chart. This is telling us the new highs versus new lows, and as you can see, we're still seeing plenty of new lows in the market versus new highs. So let's go down here to the bottom to explain this. This is participation for the New York Stock Exchange. In blue and green, we have the S&P 500. What this is telling us, that 19% of the stocks held within the New York, traded within the New York Stock Exchange, only 19% are above the 200 moving average. Only 30% are above the 50 moving average, the daily moving average. It's pretty, it's actually, that tells you there's still a lot of damage under the hood. The S&P 500, we a little better here. We have 23% over the 200. That's a little bit better. A little worse with the 50 over the 200. We only have 28%. So, the market's still in some turmoil. I definitely am not expecting new highs anytime soon. Coming into earnings and all that, we're going to see what's really going on behind these doors in these companies. We're seeing so many companies guide down. Keep in mind that Oracle just come out and said that they're looking at laying people off. Just seeing one thing after another after another. But let's look at some charts and check some trade ideas out. So you got Amgen here. We've been watching this double bottom. We actually caught some of this move on the way up. Put this base in here at a resistance level. Basically, it made a big move, hanging out, letting the 9 catch up. Based it very nicely. Let the 9 catch up. Back above this resistance level, we're looking for a push here, according to some of the information posted in the Facebook or the Discord group today. They are still liking the big pharma names, so this may be a winner this week. Keep an eye on it. AUPH, this was in last week's video. We got a very nice move to the upside. It's basing here, putting in a base. We had this little symmetrical triangle breakout, putting in a base here, letting the 9 catch up. See if we can hold this while this 9 catches up, and this may make a nice move to the upside. So we got Bloom, BE. This is one I do keep an eye on myself. It's one of the energy, the renewable energy stocks that I like to keep an eye on. You can see we are now back above all our major moving averages except for the 200, but we're back above the 50, the 9, and the 20 there. You can see we finally broke out of this symmetrical triangle this week, and this was hosted in last week's video, so we have broken out now, pushed up. We've even cleared this next level of resistance here into the Bollinger Bands, or acting as resistance. I would like to see these Bollinger Bands open up. That would tell us a lot right there. Just seeing them open up, letting us know that it's looking to accept the price action for the move. So this is coin. This is one we've been following this week due to Bitcoin popping off. You can see it's trading in this little wedge down here. It has taken this trend out, has broken outside of the wedge. You can see the Bollinger Bands coming into pinch. Now we want to see them open up. The next target, if we continue to push, if Bitcoin pushes this week, next target's 200. So we have a $10 on average. We have about $10 for a move up before the next big resistance level. That could be a nice play. XLP, this is the consumer staples. We've been watching this closely because if the market starts to see any kind of turmoil or any kind of troubles, they will go back in. They will start rotating back into defensive names, consumer staple names. We've been putting in a nice little base here, holding the 9. 200's resistance. Now the 50's coming down on top of it. So we could lose this 9 and see some downside. If we lose this 9, we look for downside. If we can take the 50 and 200 out, we can open calls and look for upside. Right now, for me, that's a no trade area wedged in between the moving averages. It has to break out one way or the other. Cost. So we were watching this last week. This was also on last week's video, watching this bottom ascending triangle. They released some numbers last week and in-store sales, and that was Friday. We got a nice push on it Friday. We've seen flow. We've seen some volume coming into it. So when you see volume coming into the stocks in a low volume week, you pay attention to that stock. At least one member was able to capitalize on this move and made some really good money on it, improved his account considerably. But you can see we got a 4% move since last week. That would have paid really nicely with options. Just pointing that out. We do need to watch this 200 here. We need this 9 to catch up. So it started to move. It needs the 9 to catch up. I would prefer to see it, an inside day or two, let the 9 catch up. Next big level is 510 at that 200. We need to take that 200 out to continue to move up. CPNG, this was also in last week's video. We got a breakout of this bottom ascending triangle here above all the moving averages except for the 200. So we got a nice push, putting in a base here, letting the 9 catch up. So hopefully is what we're waiting for, is letting the 9 catch up and see a push up or a failure to hold the 9. Crowd, this one can be tricky because of the spreads can be wild. But just going through charts, I simply see low, high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. Right now, we're getting a higher high slightly. Would like to see some more candle bodies up there. We're not that far extended from the 9, so I'm hoping that we can push up this week. I'm hoping this 9 will come up and continue to push up. If you look, these charts look a lot better than what the actual SPY looks like. So Dollar General, this was also in last week's video, had this flag here. We broke out of it, made a 4.3% move. 9's coming up. We want this 9 to come up underneath these candles and push us up. You can see the Bollinger Bands are settling down from this move right here, from this pullback, are settling down, and you can see them pinching in this area. You can see them wanting to open up to allow the price action to move. DocU, this is another one that is seeing a little life this week. But you have a double bottom down here. In order to confirm the double bottom, I would look at this as a neckline. You can get a line across there. It's not perfect, but you really need to take that out to confirm. So we need to break the neckline to confirm the double bottom. But we are holding the 9 and 20 right here. We're not that far extended. Maybe we can possibly push. The 9 almost looks like it wants to turn down. The MACD is showing some momentum, not really showing a whole lot of relative strength yet. I do want to keep an eye on this one because of this gap. We could push up, see some resistance every day, including tomorrow. Tomorrow's candle is going to open. This 50 is going to move down a little more and a little more until it meets with the price action. And it can continue down even after that. It could actually push the price down. So I would like to see this 50 get down to the edge of this gap and kind of work together with the gap. Maybe we can push up and see a rejection off the gap, or will we fill the gap? It's all about, obviously nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. We may not even get to the gap, but that's a level of interest to keep an eye on. There's a good chance we could push into this gap, take that 50 out, and just rip. You can see the Bollinger Bands trying to pinch here. We don't get a look at the bottom one, but you can see this rolling over, accepting this move. Your 20s, your mean for your Bollinger Band, and we are back above that. There's a good chance that we can see a push here. Let's keep an eye on that gap. Let's keep an eye on the neckline and the gap. So this is Dollar Tree. This was a price wedge play that we looked at last week, and we had actually dipped back below the uh, resistance level here. And I was actually a little concerned about this and actually said that this one, Dollar Tree or Dollar General looked a lot better. We said that this one may not hold. So we were very iffy. This wasn't a play. I do like price wedging into the moving average. It's something that I look for. I like anything wedging into I like price when it wedges into a area of interest. In this case, moving averages are an area of interest. You can see the MACD's opened up. It's made a nice move here. We need the 9 to catch up and help push us up. This would be resistance. If that can happen, maybe we can get a reaction here. Maybe, we got a reaction and pull back here. That may be the case there. We may take it out and push up. It's all about seeing the setup when it gets to that level. But in this case, uh, I was not sure and, which way this was actually going to go. And I actually said that we may get rejected here, that we were below. We ended up opening strong Tuesday morning and was able to push 8.8%. But that was one that I really wasn't bullish. I wasn't bearish on. Dollar General looked good. This looked iffy. And it was, it was a chart that was worth watching, whichever direction it went. And you can see it made a nice move. This is bruised. This is newly put on this week. You can see it's been testing this trend line. Wasn't even strong enough to get back to it there. This big pullback maybe earnings. I'm not sure why we had this big snatch back here. Probably news or earnings, and it was able to regain itself right back into that trend line. Rejected, right back in that trend line. Rejected, back into the trend line. Took it out. Take note. So it tested here. Look at how many days it took to retest. Then showing weakness. It didn't retest for a while on bad earnings, but look how quick it's coming back. That's a good sign. When you keep seeing it come back quicker, when it's coming back quicker to that level of interest, you also can get a bottom out of this. Let's draw this real quick. So, we're seeing all those wicks to the downside there. That's letting us know that something's there. That's just a sign that something is there. So if we use this candle right there, uh, as long as, that's the box, as long as the candle body or the wick can come in the box, can touch the box or come in the box, we don't want to see it protrude through the box. So we have a double bottom there as well. Not crazy about the setup. If you were to draw a line right here, we're basically right into the neckline. We would have to take that out to confirm the double bottom. You can see we're right into the 50 here. We could possibly open tomorrow. Maybe we gap over top the 50, or maybe we can just push through the 50. This is definitely one that's worth watching. I love finding stocks that is at an area of interest so we can play the reaction. In this case, we took the trend line out. We are at the 50. The 50 is the area of interest. We could see a pullback. The 9's not very far away, so if we see a pullback, we have to be ready to take profits. There is room to make money in there, but you just have to, realize that your 9 and 20 can be a support level if we get rejected. I would preferably, with the levels down here, not as much overhead, I would preferably move up. That would be the preferable move for me, would be a bullish move, but I would play it either way. IBM, I still want to keep an eye on this one. It's respecting this trend line. All right, and you can see we have this little top up here. We didn't even, this we're strong enough to not even come back to the trend line here, pushed up. So you have a low, a higher low, a higher low, but the highs are right there. So we're coiling. That's basically what we're doing. We're coiling into this tabletop here. So we want to, what I'm looking for is to get back to this level here and see what kind of reaction we get at that level. Right now, we're below the 9 and 20. I really don't want to trade it in here. I would trade it above that 9 up to that level and hopefully get a reaction at that level. It could be long or short. Um, but the thing is finding these levels, these areas of interest, and looking for playing the reactions off of those levels. So we get IBB. This was hosted last week. Double bottom play. Symmetry's not perfect on it, but we got the breakout. The 9 caught up. Got a 5.7% breakout. Getting a little extended here. So I would not be surprised for this to pull back and reconnect to the 9. If it reconnects to the 9, maybe we can get another push up. It could continue to push from here. Lockheed Martin, another one that was on last week's watch list. I'm watching these because we could see news coming out about equipment being replaced that we've been giving to Ukraine, and it could spike the stock. Basically, we're back above resistance levels. You do have a shakeout down here. I call that a shakeout candle. Um, but we're getting a little flat in here, still below the 50, back below the 9. So it's really not ready yet. I would like to see this get back above the 9 here. You can play it up to the 50. There's room to make money. Just be ready at the 50 to take profits. You need to know that there's a level there. I'm preferably waiting for it to get back above those levels or get back below and we can play it to the downside. But I would expect we're going to hear news coming out soon about equipment being replaced, contracts being awarded, and stocks being pushed on that. So this is Mara, once again, just like coin, we had this huge candle Friday, big move up. I think Joe was able to make some money on this. Congratulations. So we've taken the downtrend out and pushed up. 50 would be the next target. You have room there to make money up to that 50. Be ready to take profits and see what kind of reaction you get at the 50. You can always get back in. Always find a reason or a way to get back in a stock. Lock them profits in, guys, especially in this market. You know, it's you're not going to grow if you're not locking it in. Falling in love and holding something and expecting more and expecting more, trying to get as much as you can per play doesn't always work. We're steady trying to teach people to look at everything at a series of trades. It's one of the things that we work on here at Trend Catalyst. In the long run, if you're taking profits, you're able to build your account, you can buy more than one contract, then you can lease some runners when you're able to peel some profits off. So this is McDonald's. We were watching this pattern here. It's not perfect. It's like a symmetrical triangle. It's nothing perfect, but we got the breakout on it. Bollinger Bands are pinching, opening up. 9's on its way to help push the price action up. McDonald's is definitely worth watching. That was on last week's video. Here's Moderna. This is one of the big winners from last week's video. Watching the IBB, but with COVID and all this news going on, these big pharma stocks have been pushing. Got a 21% move off this last week. That would have been a huge option swing if you were swinging. I'm just myself is taking profits on intraday stuff right now. I would have never swung it, but that would have been a huge move there. You catch a few of these, you're starting to see some life-changing money, without a doubt. The 9's on its way up. I would not be surprised at this point to see this pull back to the 9. So we're getting a little extended from the 9 here. So you're looking at a $22 move or so from your 9. Wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback. So maybe that could be a trade idea for you, is maybe just simply catching a pullback to the 9. Uh, And it could continue to push, don't get me wrong, but you're only going to get so far away before you come back. Or put a base in and let the 9 catch up. So this is NVIDIA. We focus more on AMD, but the semis are trying to show a little life. We're back into the 20 here. We still have some levels, this downtrend. The semis have basically been sick. We talk about that a lot. But if they do come for them, we can get above this 20 in this downtrend, the next level would be to watch this 50. I'm not a big fan of the semis right now. Uh, Plug's putting in, so you can see right here, a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. We've also gotten above this resistance level here. So maybe this may want to continue to push. You're starting to see the Bollinger Bands open up for the price. That's a good sign. You're showing relative strength. You're showing momentum. Got decent volume in there. It's a nice looking chart right now for this market. So maybe we can continue to push higher. The 9's not very far away. We need the 9 to catch up to the price action. Roblex seen volume on Friday. We called this one out. Congratulations to everybody who caught this. We're back above this resistance level here. A nice play off this flag here. A nice push up. Would like to see the 9 get up there underneath this candle, but let's see if we can watch for a continued move. Seen a lot of bearish flow on this one come in, and that's a lot of people thinking, well, it popped. It probably won't hold its pop. I did check. A lot of the bearish flow did close, and some of that flow could have been hoping just to catch that pullback. So you can see where we went to the daily high and we pulled back on that name. This one's worth keeping an eye on. Option flow, volume is the signals we look for to find the honey badgers, the hot stocks for the day. So we got Snap here. I like Snap here. It's testing this level. See if we can get it to take this level out. If we can breach this level, watch for this gap fill. Watch your 50. This may push. You can see a low, a higher low. We need a higher high to confirm this uptrend. It's like it's trying to let us know it's trying to start a new trend here instead of it's been trading down here for over a month. So it's trying to tell us that it's trying to go into an uptrend. Let's keep an eye to see if we can take out the 15. I would like it a lot better above 15. Snow, this is another one I don't really like because of the spreads, but it's been getting some attention. Took this downtrend out, got right up over that one, chopped around, found resistance at the 50 until the 9 caught up, pushed us up above the 50, pushed us up above this trend line. This one's definitely worth keeping an eye on this week. So we're wanting to continue to push up. Your Bollinger Bands are opening up for the price. The 9 were not extended. It's a decent looking chart. SOXL, this is tracking the semis. If the semis do push, and you don't know which one to trade, I recommend that trading SOXL over SMH. So we are back above the 9. The 20 would be the next level of resistance. Look at the volume coming into this thing. It's getting big volume coming in all of a sudden. And I've been watching this volume in pre-market, but we have this downtrend. If we do take the 20 out, we have this downtrend would be the next level. The 50's tied in there as well. This is SOXL's 15-minute chart. You see, we had this little gap there. We got into it and got rejected. The gap actually comes down to this red line, but we took some of it out. That's why the gap is now, right there. So let's keep an eye to take out Friday's high. If we take out Friday's high, it lets us know we're into that gap. Remember, gaps are resistance. SPY, this is the SPY 1 hour chart. I added this. Actually, this was in here from last week as well, but I left this one in here just to point out that we have this little cup / rounded bottom and the 200 resistance on the 1 hour chart right now. So we need to take that 1 hour out to push up, or we could pull back and maybe possibly put a handle or pull back. See what kind of reaction we can get there tomorrow off of that 200 on the 1 hour. This is Spxc. This is a refrigerator company. I don't know much about the company. I just like the chart. Still, we're back above the 200 here, putting in a tabletop. I do believe this wants to push up. Options are not very good on that. That's better for somebody trading shares. SunPower, they've been coming after a lot of these solar energy names. Big candle on Friday got us up above that trend line. See if we can open up tomorrow above this downtrend. If we can do that, this has a possibility of pushing. I would watch for the 200. Twitter. Twitter's not a name I like to trade a whole lot, honestly, but there's been a lot going on with Musk. There's a lot of news going on. You can see the next chart. I added the 15 so you can see the 2 days of pulling back here. There's going to be a lot of drama going on with that. I imagine there's going to be lawsuits and everything else. I still think Musk will probably end up with the company. Why buy the company for? I believe the deal was for 54 when it's trading at, even here was trading at 37 in that area, and now it's even trading less. But I'm sure he's up to something. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, or he may simply just not be interested into the company. And for me, it really doesn't matter. I'm just here to trade and make money on it. That is it. I really don't care whether he buys it or not. I'm not going to get over opinionated on it. Putting in a tabletop here on UNH, we were watching this last week and never really got that breakout. I just noticed that we had wicked down, was waiting on the 9. I did like the way it wicked down on Monday. We pulled back on Tuesday. A lot of pharma names pulled back. I'm sorry. This is Tuesday. Yeah, this was Monday. No, Friday. I'm a day off. Last week still screwed me up. So this was Friday's candle. This was Monday. We pulled back a lot of pharma names. We're pulling back Monday just due to the market, and then they come back and ripped. Nice strong move Friday and was pulled back. Would like to see it get above this level, this tabletop, and looking for it to push. Um, this is a slow mover. It can be a grinder. Zoom. This chart looks really good. It's coiled up into a top here. Once again, we're looking, we're not far away from the 9 and 20. We're above the 50. If we can take this out, maybe we can push up. I'm not going to say we'll go all the way to the 200. The 200 is definitely resistance. But if we can take this out, maybe we can start to push again. They've been coming after a lot of these names, so let's try keeping an eye on them. Well, that concludes our video for the day. I hope this is able to help you, give you some ideas to trade this week. I hope everybody has an awesome week. I hope you relaxed this weekend, was able to get a break, get some rest, and I will see you in the trading room.